Hey Internet, Eric here. Um, Tonight we're gonna talk about a movie. I just watched for the first time. Well, actually, I probably tried watching it maybe 5, 6 months ago. I wasn't into it. Me and my wife, so we shut it off in our DVD player in our bedroom, and I hadn't watched it since until just yesterday or the day before. And it's a John Carpenter film. And John Carpenter is pretty hit and miss with me. I mean, for every The Thing, there is Village of the Damned. For every, let's see, Halloween, there is Ghosts of Mars. Well, today, I'm going to talk about John Carpenter's Prince of Darkness. Prince of Darkness came out in, what does it say, 87. Okay, and it actually stars Donald Pleasence, who worked with Carpenter in Halloween. He's in all the fucking Halloween films up until his death after Part 6. We get Victor Wong and Dennis Dunn, who were both worked with Carpenter in Big Trouble in Little China, which is my favorite John Carpenter film. And we get a bunch of other people. Alice Cooper plays a homicidal homeless man who doesn't say a word. Um, if you're new to my channel, welcome. I do discuss these somewhat in depth with some plot spoilers, yada yada yada, so you have been warned. Basically, the plot of this is Donald Pleasence plays a priest, and in like the basement or some hidden part of his church or of a church, he finds this gigantic tube, canister, full of some green viscous fluid, and there's some ancient text written in a Bible that he needs deciphering, blah blah blah. He goes to Victor Wong, who is a college professor. Victor Wong gets a bunch of his students together. They're going to decipher the text, find out what this green fluid is, and from what I was able to gather, it is the somewhat of the physical embodiment of Satan. I could be wrong. It was kind of hard for me to follow. And eventually, this fluid escapes and it possesses the students and turns them into bloodthirsty zombies. And you find out that through the text, the devil is actually trying to come back and then call forth his father. What is it? The all-powerful anti-god. Yeah, here we go. This might be easier. When a group of graduate students and scientists discover an ancient canister containing an evil-looking liquid in an abandoned church, all hell breaks loose. It does. Shortly after the discovery, the liquid seems to come alive, generating an evil energy that systematically turns members of the group into zombies. Even worse, it releases Satan, thus paving the way for the return of his father, the all-powerful anti-god. Okay, that's in a nutshell. That's the easiest way to explain it. What do I say about this film? Like a lot of Carpenter films, there's a slow build-up. Like They Live is super slow build-up, but a great third act until the end. That's exactly what Prince of Darkness is. Very slow build-up, great mid-second to third act shit ending. And that's what I will say about Prince of Darkness. I'll say Donald Pleasence with basically Dr. Loomis as a priest. That type of chilling performance, very slow, methodical. Victor Wong, very likable, very engaging. Every time this man talks, I want to hear what he has to say. I don't know if it's just the way he looks. You know, he's this old ancient, not ancient. That's the wrong fucking way to say it, but he's just this older Chinese man. The way he looks, the way he speaks softly, and then he gets serious. It's like Jake the Snake Roberts. He's a former pro wrestler. He said, to paraphrase, he said, "Speak softly and people will listen." And that's how Victor Wong is. He's very soft-spoken, but you want to know what this man is going to say. So you got those great performances. Other than that, you don't really give a shit about anyone else. Dennis Dunn, who I loved as a Wang Chi in Big Trouble in Little China, he's just kind of an annoying jerk here. Um, the girls, no, you're not going to care about any. The girls, the male lead, who I don't know his name, I just call him Porn Stash because he's just got the handlebar porno mustache. You don't give a shit about him. So you got two likable characters and a handful of unlikable characters. Not a good thing. Um, but we'll talk about the music. John Carpenter is always, even if it's a one of his downer, not good type of films, um, his music is always good, and the music is great here. The build up, the tension, the creepiness, fantastic. I love everything about every piece of music in Prince of Darkness. Um, let's talk about Alice Cooper. Alice Cooper. Well, first off, let's talk about how a lot. How do I say this? When the shit finally starts to hit the fan, when we have some people who are finally possessed, and Satan is getting out of his tube or whatever, what have you, and things are happening, Carpenter basically has turned that bitch up to 11, and we're running with it. We have people whose bodies are falling apart, turning into beetles and crickets. We have creepy imagery of earthworms crawling all across the church windows. Um, Alice Cooper plays a possessed homeless man who doesn't say a word. The homeless people, he's the leader of like this horde of homeless people. They're just standing there near all the entrances of the church, not letting anybody escape. And it's just so creepy, just standing there. There's evil vibe. You can feel how creepy they are. There's a cool scene where one of them gets away and Alice Cooper stabs the character to death. And I guess I read on Wikipedia that was actually a prop from Alice's stage show. So that was really cool. But yeah, the imagery is really, really good. The gore goes back and forth. We have like a beheading, which is okay. We have some stabbings, which are good. But a lot of it is implied. We have like someone gets stabbed in the throat, and like the blade is dragged across their throat. That's decent. I think we have a shooting or two. So it's so. The makeup effects, though, I'm actually very disappointed in the makeup effects. There is a character who gets possessed, and she slowly, like, her body is starting to melt off. Like, her flesh is starting to melt off. And when you see her in the bed, like, you see her arms, and you initially see her face. That looks really, really cool. But then as the movie goes on, her flesh starts to melt even more, and it starts to turn to shit. Because you go from stage 1, that looks really cool, and then you go to stage 2, where like her cheeks start to fall, melt off, and so she's got like, the muscle here. She looked like a fucking clown. So I started laughing there. You're supposed to be scared of this possessed zombie girl, I guess, and it just took me out. And then what's worse, by the end of the film, when she's in her final form, and she's calling, for her father, Satan or the anti-god or whoever the fuck it is, through a mirror. Her face was completely off, and other than like little small pieces of skin. The first thing I fucking thought of was Pizza the Hut from Spaceballs, and I'm just like, no, this is just bad. This is so fucking bad. I know 9 out of 10 times John Carpenter has a super, super low budget. I'm like, God damn, I wish you would have had more money in the makeup department right there, because that was just god awful. I hated the way this chick looked at the end. But, like I said, with the good parts, with the score, and then just like the creepy imagery, and then when the group is defending themselves against the possessed, that is really, really cool. So I compared it to They Live. And of course, the very end. The way they defeat the anti-god is so anticlimactic. It's horrible. It's shit. It makes me dislike the film so much, because you have, like I said, the slow build-up, the great mid-second to third act, and then you finally get how you defeat the creature, the main villain, the evil entity, and I'm just like, that's it. That's it. All she did was did what she did, and then it's like you ever see Idle Hands? And it's about this possessed hand. It goes around and it gets stabbed with a dagger, and then literally it just goes, and fucking Seth Green's character is like, that's it. That's all we get. That's exactly how this fucking movie ends. It's the fucking how they defeat the creature in Idle Hands is the ending to fucking Prince of Darkness. And it's just such a major, major letdown. Overall, I will say, did I like this film? God damn. If I rated it like, I'm not good at ratings. But if I did this on like Netflix, like if I was like, hey, recommended for you out there, out of 5 stars, I'd probably maybe give it 2.5, because you have the slow build up. You have a lot of unlikable characters. Kick-ass, like I said, once the shit starts happening, the great imagery, the great score, the great, fun action sequences, really, really good. And then you get that shit ending. I'll say I liked it, but I am not really going to recommend Prince of Darkness. This is like the second in a supposed End of the World trilogy. He did The Thing, he did this, and then he did In the Mouth of Madness. And In the Mouth of Madness I've seen like 2 or 3 times, and I still don't know what the fuck's going on. But Prince of Darkness, definitely a huge, huge step down from The Thing. I mean, but then again, how can you follow up The Thing? The Thing is fantastic. But, yeah. And like I said, Alice Cooper was fucking cool. But he's Alice Cooper. Doesn't have to say a word, he still creeps you the fuck out. Overall, Prince of Darkness, it's not great. It's not horrible. It's meh. That'll be, hey internet, Eric here. It'll be on the poster. It's meh. So, I don't recommend Prince of Darkness, but I don't say you shouldn't see it. So, that's all I got to say with it. Not that much worth saying. This wasn't worth the 5 months or however fucking long it sat in the DVD player in my bedroom. But the beetles, the ants, the worms, and all that stuff were really cool. You get a very disgusting feel with a lot of, like I said, a lot of the imagery. But, yeah, overall, Prince of Darkness, not really that great. Not a fan. But I will say I liked it. Put a little asterisk by it. Liked. So yeah, thank you for watching. You know what? If you've seen Prince of Darkness and you disagree, feel free to comment below and tell me what it is you think that I'm wrong about. I love interacting with people on my channel. So give it a shot. Tell me what you think I'm wrong about. If I am wrong about Prince of Darkness, or if I'm right, give me a pat on the back and say, you're right, buddy. Anyways, thank you for watching. Like, subscribe, tell your friends, tell Alice Cooper, the homeless guy down the street who just goes and has Wi-Fi when he visits the library to, go to the bathroom. Tell him to check out my channel. I have a Dawn of the Dead remake review coming up. I have to talk about the recent wrestling show that I was at. I'm going to give a review of that. And I'm going to have a bunch of other horror-related movie reviews splattered in here. Pun intended, due to it being October. But in the end, I will say cheers. I don't have any beer handy, but I will take a swig out of my Hy-Vee Hee-Haw soda. I think it's supposed to be Sprite, like the knockoff brand of Sprite. Anyways, cheers, and do yourself a favor. Watch Big Trouble in Little China instead if you want to watch a good John Carpenter film. See you in the next video.